Hi Aries, welcome to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. Today is January 13th, 2020. This is a general love reading for the end of the month of January for the sign of Aries. Because it's a general love reading, it can pertain to any kind of relationship, situation, or circumstance that you might be dealing with. Be flexible with the energy. Don't be concerned about the gender of the cards or the pronouns that I'm using to describe them. You can interchange the roles within the reading. In other words, you might be represented by any of the characters that shows up in the cards. You may feel like I'm reading for you, but you could feel also that you're cross-watching for somebody that you're dealing with. So, as always, be flexible with the energy. Take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. My intention is to reach as many people as I can who need the message the most and who will benefit from it. Okay, Aries, so we're going to get started after one more shuffle. Carmela is here to join us today. As you saw at the beginning of the video, she decided she wanted to chew on my iPad for a little while, so she's over here doing her thing. I'll move her into, oh, you still can't see her. Okay, well, she's gonna stay over there then. She'll get back on my shoulder later on. Anyway, so I was gonna do one more shuffle, and I'm doing two. So here we go, Aries. Let me do a cut and we'll get started. So in your underlying energy, we're starting off with the Ace of Cups, paired with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Stars at the bottom of the deck. We have the 5 of Cups in reverse. 9 of Wands. The Queen of Wands. King of Wands. The 3 of Swords. And the 7 of Cups. Okay, so this feels like, Aries, you're working through some heartache related to a relationship. Feels like it could potentially be a marriage that's split up, possibly a family dynamic. But we have the King and Queen of Wands that showed up both in the upright and together, paired up together. So this is you and the person that you're dealing with. I'll determine who I'm reading for as time goes on and as I get more cards out here. But the King and Queen of Wands, and if this is a marriage dynamic, this is a power couple. This is Jay-Z and Beyonce, however you say her name. This is, you know, this is the kind of couple that seems to have it all. They are ambitious. They are the type of people that are, sorry, I'm distracted by the bird pooping on the table. This is a couple who go after what they want. They could potentially both be very ambitious within their careers. They're both in the upright position, so they're both feeling very, very positive in their energy. But we have the Ace of Cups with the 10 of Pentacles. So there is love here. There's a significant bond, but there could be trouble in paradise. The 10 of Pentacles can indicate disharmony within a family unit. This can also indicate divorce or separation. There is some kind of heartache that's being dealt with in this. Carmela, please don't eat my cards. Come here. She's taking chunks out of my cards. Anyway, there is some heartache, some sorrow going on within this relationship and confusion. But it looks like we're in the process of doing some healing as well and working to get out of this funk. That's what I've got so far with this first set of cards. It's a pretty strong message so far. Let's see what else we get with this next deck. So here's Carmilla. If you haven't met her before, this is my son's bird, and she often hangs out with me because my son works and he's off doing his thing right now. So I spend a lot of time with her, and she feels a little bit more like my bird than she feels like his bird, but that's okay. She keeps me company, along with the cat, who's off napping somewhere, I think, fortunately, because he can be very loud. His meows. Carmilla, please don't bite my ear. Just be a good bird, okay? You're feeling like you want to do stuff right now, like you're all full of energy, but I need you to be calm, okay? Please. Okay, one more shuffle, Aries, and let's get this next set of cards out and see what's going on with the power couple, the King and Queen of Wands. Oh, just stop biting me. Okay, so clarifying the Ace of Cups, we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Don't do that. We have the Knight of Pentacles, clarifying the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. The Ten of Wands in reverse, clarifying the Five of Cups. The Nine of Wands is clarified by the Eight of Wands in reverse. The King of Wands has the Tower, clarifying his energy. The Queen of Wands has the Knight of Cups in reverse. The Three of Swords has the Ten of Cups in reverse. And the Seven of Cups is clarified by the Page of Pentacles in reverse. All right, I'm not necessarily, I mean, I'm feeling healing here to a certain extent, but on the other hand, it feels like there might be healing because we might be moving in the direction of a separation or split up between these two. There might be some confusion surrounding this relationship. I feel like there might be some problems with communication. Maybe there isn't clarity in regards to what the two parties want. Because I'm not sure that the two parties, the King and Queen of Wands, are being very clear with communication right now. There's a sense maybe that one of these or both of these people are giving up or letting go of this relationship, releasing the love or the connection. Maybe this is a separation and it's a temporary arrangement. But right now, this if you see me wincing and jerking my head around, it's because she's in her bitey mood, and she doesn't bite hard, but she nips at my ear, and she's being feisty right now. Probably was a mistake to take her out, but you know, here she is, so she's here now. Ouch, Carmilla. God damn it. I swear to God, Aries. I thought she was gonna be good. Carmilla, can you please just behave? I just said she didn't bite hard, and then she took she bit me hard. Okay, I'm sorry, and this is not a laughing matter, this reading right now. I need to get serious here. Stop it, please stop, please stop. Honest to God, Aries is not in the mood for this, and neither am I. Okay. So based on what I'm seeing here, there could be a move towards a separation or a breakup, or maybe trying to move forward or heal by taking a break. by separating for the time being. That's what I'm feeling here. I think that this King and Queen of Wands may be struggling with this decision, maybe to take a break or separate for a while, because there's no communication right now, or very little, and that is going to be detrimental to the relationship if there isn't communication. So if there is an attempt to make things right within this relationship, right now that's not happening because there's a lack of cooperation or communication. The Knight of Cups in reverse in this set of cards could indicate that this Queen initiated this separation or breakup. I do feel like this is a romantic connection, especially with this King and Queen of Wands couple. It feels like a marriage. It feels like that type of connection to me. But there's definitely some grief and sorrow in regards to this connection, and confusion, because I feel like the lack of communication is keeping both of these parties in the dark in regards to where this is heading, or if there's an attempt to heal things or make things better. There's not a clear understanding of how that's going to happen. This feels like, at least at one time, it was a very strong connection. If it's not still a strong connection, again, this could just be a break from one another. I feel like this King of Wands maybe is feeling a bit more of the repercussions from this decision, because I do feel like it was initiated by the Queen of Wands. And it could be that this King is trying to keep communication lines open with this Queen. And maybe she's reluctant or keeping her distance. Let's see what else we get for you, Aries. So clarifying the Ace of Cups, we have strength. Again, I do feel, I just said that too, I feel like this at least at one time, if not currently, is a very strong connection, a very strong relationship, or has been in the past. Again, the King and Queen is not, they are not a couple to be messing around with. These two mean business. They are both very ambitious people. They both have a lot going on, and they feed off of each other's strengths. So, you know, this is truly, when I look at the King and Queen of Wands together, this is a dynamic couple that has everything. And they have everything because they work together as a team, and two heads are better than one, especially when you have this kind of energy. You can make things happen. You can shake, rattle, and roll. And this, I feel like this dynamic has done that. They could have built an empire together. If not an empire, at least something very strong. You know, if you're not the Jay-Z, Beyonce couple that I indicated, if I'm not reading for Jay-Z and Beyonce, and I could be, you never know. I would love it if Jay-Z and Beyonce were watching this reading. If Jay-Z or Beyonce, if either one of you is watching this reading on YouTube, could you please comment below and let me indicate whether or not this reading is resonating with you? I'm sure you don't want to air your dirty laundry and let the world know that maybe the relationship is not doing well right now, but it sure would brighten my day if I knew that I was actually reading for Beyonce and Jay-Z. I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, you know, you never know. You never know. So we have the Five of Wands. I feel like there's definitely been a lot of back and forth in regards to this relationship, where it's headed, and whether or not, you know, it is moving forward in the right direction. clarifying the 5 of Cups, we have the 8 of Swords. The 9 of Wands is clarified by the 10 of Swords in reverse. The King is clarified by Justice in reverse. And the Queen is clarified by the 5 of Swords in reverse. We have the Moon in reverse, clarifying the 3 of Swords. And the 7 of Cups is clarified by the Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay, so this definitely was initiated by the Queen of Wands. I don't think this King of Wands wants this break or split or temporary separation or divorce, whatever this looks like to you, Aries. The King of Wands doesn't want this. Now, again, I haven't decided who I'm reading for specifically because the energy is very even, although it feels like it's tipping in the direction of the Queen of Wands right now because she just showed up again. So I may be reading for the Queen of Wands. That doesn't mean that the King of Wands can't be watching. Like I said, you decide who you are. But I think this Queen of Wands is mentally conflicted regarding this this connection. I think there's probably been a lot of fighting. There's probably been a lot of discussion and talk in regards to where this relationship is going, like I said before. And maybe I'm just going to throw this out there because based on what I'm seeing in these cards and your underlying energy, it's possible that there's been conversation in regards to maybe maintaining the direction of this relationship or trying to keep it going despite the breakup. In other words, let's say I'm reading for Beyonce and Jay-Z, and they are this amazing, incredible power couple who's got the world's eyes on them. If there is some kind of breakup or split up, it would benefit them and their careers if they kept moving forward as a power couple. Let's throw this out there. Donald Trump and Melania. Is that her name? Melania? Anyway, the two of them, I think there's a lot of speculation that there's love lost in that relationship. But for the sake of politics and for the sake of the fact that they are president and first lady, it would bode well for them to not divorce, at least right now. Do you see what I'm saying? So for the sake of their careers or the possible direction where they both want to go, maybe there is a split or a breakup, but they want to keep things going for the sake of their careers or for the sake of, financial stability. Now, if you're not a power couple on that level, and I'm probably reading for a more average individual who does not have that kind of notoriety. It could be the same type of thing. If you've built something together and the relationship is on rocks, but you've got a business together, obviously it would serve you both well to keep things going, at least if you could be amicably working together, maybe not romantically together in that sense. Excuse me. I'm burping. I feel that the problem is, and probably has in the past also, been a lack of or weak communication between the two. And I feel like this is something that's been going on for a period of time, probably a repeated pattern within this relationship, that the communication has been weak, has been poor. If there's been communication, it has probably been volatile. And again, I do feel like this Queen of Wands is the one who let the cat out of the bag in regards to how she feels about this relationship. The moon came out clarifying the Three of Swords. So she has, I think, been the one to initiate this, or to at least maybe speak the words first. It's possible this relationship has not been super solid for a period of time, and maybe she's just the one who spoke up and said something. So the Queen of Wands also came out clarifying the Page of Pentacles with the Seven of Cups. And I do feel that her actions, her communication, or her decisions have maybe caused this King of Wands some confusion. Or she may be feeling confused herself at the direction she wants to go in regards to this relationship, and right now just doesn't know what the next move is, if there is a next move. If you are feeling, if you're the Queen of Wands, and I do feel like I'm reading for the Queen of Wands, I do feel like this Queen of Wands may feel trapped by this current situation. Like maybe the expectation is that you're going to, heal whatever's going on and move on. Or relieve yourself of this grief and then move forward. Maybe without coming to terms with what's going on within the relationship. Because again, there might be this expectation that if you're this type of power couple and you kind of depend on each other and you feed off of each other because you're both in business together, or you're both in the music industry together, or whatever that looks like, or you're both in the White House together, there's this expectation that you are going to move forward with this relationship regardless of the internal conflicts within the relationship. And I'm not sure this Queen of Wands wants to do that. I think this Queen of Wands maybe wants a change, but might not be feeling like she knows how to go about it, Aries. So this, as I look at these cards and I unravel the story by talking through it, it feels like a situation I wouldn't want to be in, if I'm being honest. Now, there's plenty of people in this world who dream about being famous, or dream about having these kind of lives where you build this legacy and you build this reputation and you have this kind of power and influence, and millions of people look up to you and depend on you for leadership, or that kind of thing. But then to a certain extent you're trapped there, because where do you go from there? You don't just crawl into a hole and hide once you're in that kind of position. And if you've gotten to that point with a partner, how do you end a relationship? I'm sorry, I'm wincing again because she's under my hair, you can see, but she's napping and biting my ear at the same time. Sorry, distracted. If you've built this kind of life for yourself with a partner, how do you get out of that? If it's something you want to get out of, if it's no longer serving your heart, which I believe this Queen of Wands is feeling, this isn't the kind of lovely relationship she wants. Do you put your life and your career first, or do you put your happiness regarding love first? What comes first? It's a bit of a dilemma, isn't it? I feel your pain, Aries. I've never been in this situation, but I'm feeling your pain as the Nine of Swords comes out, indicating that that's what's on your mind. Is, do you let go of, I gotta show you this, I have to, because this is what we were just talking about. I was just talking about how this relationship is strong. You've got strength with the Ace of Cups. This is something that's been built over time. And how do you let something like that go? You're in your head about that. How do you walk away from something that's become so strong and so powerful that walking away from something like this would not just devastate the couple that's involved, but random people who depend on the leadership of this couple. Friends and family. It affects everybody. And that's got to be a heavy weight on your shoulders. So again, with Seven of Pentacles, we're indicating maybe that moving forward and giving this time and seeing where this goes, or being patient, maybe that's the best route, the best laid plan. I don't know. Let's see what else we get here. So we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, Five of Wands in reverse, the King's energy with the Tower is clarified by the Ace of Cups. There's that again. Upright position. I think this King still has significant deep love for this Queen. And the Queen just wants a new start. She's got the Fool clarifying the Knight of Cups. Judgment in reverse, clarifying the Ten of Cups. And the Chariot in reverse, clarifying the Page of Pentacles. So the King wants to maintain the relationship. These are clarifying the King and Queen. King wants to maintain the relationship. He feels like this is unjust. Justice in reverse. And the Queen wants to let this go and have a new start. And it's looking like, Aries, this is leaning more in favor of the Queen, because I have a feeling there is a lack of compromise or an unwillingness to negotiate this. With the Queen's energy coming out in reverse, please stop. I'm gonna have to put you back in your cage. I know you just want to be warm or whatever, but this is ridiculous with you biting my ear. Let's get this last round out, Aries, and see what else we can come up for you. I say that all the time, and it's not grammatically correct. Let's see what else we can come up with for you. I'm using too many prepositions. I don't know. I say that all the time, and then in my head I'm like, that didn't sound right, but I still say it. I don't know why. The Queen is confused. There's a lot of confusion, and I don't feel like, Aries, you're really making any moves right now with the Chariot in reverse. I don't know that you've gained any knowledge or any wisdom or any information in regards to how to move forward with this, or how to get out of your head. And so far, Aries, the cards are not indicating to me a direction you should go. We might get something in this last set, or we might get some advice from the Dreams of Gaia tarot deck when I finish up this reading. Here's the thing: as I look at these cards, oftentimes if this is a relationship where there's somebody who's wanting to break up or separate or whatever, there's an indication as to why, or maybe some unsavory behavior, or lies and deceit, or a third party. There is the Three of Swords out here, and that can indicate third party, but there are no other energies in the reading right now anyway. And that could indicate that. So if that's your story, that's your story, but I'm not seeing that blatantly in the cards. So, you know, I'm not seeing that this King of Wands is necessarily at fault for making this Queen of Wands want to leave the relationship, is what I'm trying to say. And it could just be, you know, lost love. It could just be that the love has kind of dissipated and this queen wants to move on. And I don't know. I believe everybody deserves love. Not everybody gets love, but everybody deserves it. And, well, maybe not everybody deserves it. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass right now. But if you want it, and if if you've done your best to try to ensure yourself that you're moving in the right direction in regards to relationships, there's no reason why you shouldn't have it, is what I'm trying to say. So if this Queen of Wands is unhappy, I can see being in a relationship like this, how it might be very difficult in trying to figure out how you're going to move forward. But that doesn't mean that just because it's difficult doesn't mean you're not going to get there. It doesn't mean that you don't deserve to ultimately have love in your life if this isn't what you want. On the other hand, if this is something this powerful and this strong, you know, maybe this king is right in that you should really work on things some more. Maybe you should give it time. Maybe you should be patient and see where it goes. Because I don't feel like this king is abusive in any way. I don't feel like he's done anything wrong in regards to the connection. Now, that doesn't mean that he hasn't done anything wrong in the past, and I'm not sitting here trying to paint him as an angel or anything that you should hang on to him. What I'm saying is in the cards, it hasn't indicated that there's been any wrongdoings that would prompt you to have to leave this relationship. Like, in other words, there's no, I'm not seeing abuse and that kind of thing. So, anyway, let's see what else we get. So we have the Queen of Swords in reverse and the Empress in reverse. Hangman. Six of Swords. King of Swords. So we have the Queen of Swords, King of Swords, both in reverse. Again, this is lack of communication or inability to communicate well. And then we've got the Seven, just as I'm talking about deceit and stuff, we get the Seven of Swords in reverse, clarifying the Queen's energy. Death. And the Two of Wands. Okay, so the Seven of Swords, I've talked about this in the past in other readings. This can indicate deceit, lies, shenanigans, sneaky behavior. This can be as extreme as criminal behavior and as benign as a white lie or someone who's fooling themselves. In this case, what I feel is the Queen in this situation, you Aries, because I'm reading for the Queen, is right now either being maybe in the process of trying to fool yourself into believing that this is something you want, or possibly being a little bit on the secretive side when it comes to communication. And that's what I'm feeling more than anything, is that this Queen is reluctant to communicate 100% how she's feeling in the direction where she wants to go, because she wants a new beginning, and this King feels like that would be unjust for this relationship and for this dynamic that's going between these two. This decision to end things is bringing about significant grief and heartache, and I think this Queen is deciding on whether or not this is the right move to make. More than anything else, I think that Aries, you're worried that this is not the right move to make, and you are still in the process of making this decision. The Two of Wands clarifying the Seven of Cups with the Queen of Wands. So you haven't made a decision yet. And the cards are not indicating what the best decision would be. I don't know that you will get advice regarding your ultimate decision in this situation. But one of the things I am seeing here is that there is a reluctance to talk and communicate, and that's coming out as being a significant problem in this dynamic, that this lack of communication. Because there's a lack of communication, what could be an external conflict has become internal because neither party's speaking, and I believe that that responsibility is mainly resting on the shoulders of this Queen of Wands to speak up, because the Queen of Wands, Aries, you're the one who wants to have a new start, have a new beginning. I think that you would like to think that these feelings are mutual, and if the feelings about this relationship are or were mutual, that relieving yourself of this current situation would be much easier if you were both on the same, both thinking the same thing in regards to where you want to go with this relationship. But that's what has you trapped, is this king doesn't want the end of this relationship. Here's his energy. I just want to show this full set of cards for the king and queen one more time before I get this Dreams of Gaia card out here. So here he is, Tower coming down. Please stop biting. Tower coming down, still wanting this relationship to stay intact. He's not speaking. He feels like it's unjust, and he may be resisting communication because he just doesn't want to talk about it. The more you talk about it, the more real it becomes. I don't think this king wants that at all. And so he's clammed up because he doesn't want the broken relationship. And the queen is not, either the queen is not speaking at all, or the queen is, if she is talking about this, it's minimal conversation. She's keeping a lot of her feelings to herself because ultimately this is what she wants. A new beginning, a new start. And I don't think that her new start includes this King of Wands. Okay, so let's get a Dreams of Gaia card so I can finish up this reading, put Carmilla in her cage, put band-aids on my ear, and then I can do Taurus. So Aries, I can tell that this is a significantly challenging situation for you. If you're watching this video, you're probably watching it to gain clarity on what to do next, or what steps to take to get out of this relationship or move forward with this. The only thing that I would recommend right now is, there's Carmilla making her appearance on my head. What are you doing? Can you just be good, please? I'm almost done with this. Please just be good. The only thing that I would say to you, Aries, right now, based on what I'm seeing in the cards, is that probably need to communicate. And I recommend that a lot. And it can be challenging to have those kind of conversations, but without communication, you go nowhere. If you're worried about retaliation, especially with this king showing up in reverse, and both the king and queen of swords came up in reverse, so your communication skills might be lacking. Both of you might have issues with that. Maybe anger plays a role in how you communicate. That could be indicative of those two cards being in reverse, either lack of communication or very poor communication. So that could be your challenge. I am not one who necessarily would recommend counseling, because I don't necessarily feel like a counselor. I mean, that's just me, but I don't necessarily feel like a counselor can help me work through my problems. However, a counselor could act as a mediator in regards to communication between the two of you. Or maybe not a counselor, maybe somebody else who can just kind of act as a mediator, even if it's just a family member or a friend. This is the one that wants to come out. Perception, 21. Okay, so Aries, I'm going to read this card out of the book Dreams of Gaia. And hopefully this card will give you some clarity. It's an interesting card. I haven't pulled this one very much. In fact, maybe one other time in a reading. It's a little bit dark and ominous looking, and I'll show it to you in a minute here. I just need to take a close look at it. But, and this woman is wearing a mask, and she is a dark angel with a sword. I mean, to me, this indicates perception. What's your truth? How are you going to perceive your truth? How do you stand in your truth? Do you keep the mask on and play the game? Or do you wield the sword and stand in your truth? That's kind of what I get out of this card in simplistic form. And again, I haven't pulled this in a while, so I'm not even sure. I don't know if I remember the card and its meaning. And I know it's probably pretty long, but I'm going to read the whole thing. It's about 2 pages. Okay, Aries, so here we go. Carmela, what's your plan now? You going to get on the table? Go ahead. I'm done doing my reading, so if you walk through my cards like a little mini Godzilla, I guess it's okay. Okay, here we go. Perception, the 5th of the influence cards, pertains to the organization, identification, and interpretation of sensory information in order to understand what we sense and experience. When the perception card appears in your reading, it symbolizes an opportunity or need to look at how you analyze and interpret your experiences, and how your interpretation then influences your choices and ability to see and weigh options and opportunities. Our lives are built upon the foundations laid by our perception. How we perceive the world and those around us influences our ability to learn, our understanding of cause and effect, our ability to see and weigh our options, and to make decisions. There is no area of our life that is not influenced by our perception. Our lives can be empowered and fulfilled because how we perceive our reality gives us confidence. Or our lives can be destroyed in an instant if our idea of what is real is revealed to be a lie and our perception is shattered. Our perception can be accurate and precise. It can also be false and founded in misinformation, illusion, or imagination. Our knowledge, the knowledge we possess that is born of education, study, and practical application, can increase our perceptiveness. However, our knowledge can be limited. It can be inaccurate and flawed. For example, our knowledge of other people is limited by the fact that we only know what they reveal to us, and then we process and analyze that information by making comparisons to ourselves. However, they are not us. They might be like us in some ways, but completely different in more ways. We do not know their innermost thoughts and feelings, so what we know of them is often based on little facts and a lot of assumption. Have you ever heard the story of the 6 blind men and the elephant? They each stand before the elephant. The first man stands at the elephant's head, his hands upon the elephant's trunk. Because of the way the elephant's trunk is shaped and feels moving beneath his hands, he believes that the elephant itself is like a snake. The second man stands at the elephant's tusk. Because of the way its tapered shape and pointed end feels beneath his hands, the second man believes that the elephant is like a spear. The third man stands at the elephant's ear. Because of the way it is shaped and feels flat and waving from side to side, he believes that the elephant is like a fan. The fourth man stands at the elephant's leg. Because of the thickness and strength of the elephant's leg, he believes that the elephant is like a tree. The fifth man stands at the elephant's side, and when he feels this mighty expanse, he believes that the elephant is like a wall. Finally, the sixth man stands at the elephant's tail, and because of the way it feels, he believes that the elephant is like a rope. With 6 totally disparate opinions based upon the information each blind man possesses, the men fall into conflict. Each believes he is right and the others are wrong. The blind men begin to war with each other, so fixated on their own beliefs that they are willing to inflict harm. Suddenly, a sighted man comes upon them and shouts for them to cease. He asks them why they are fighting, and so each of the blind men tells him the tale. The sighted man looks at the elephant, and then to the blind men before him. He says, "But you are all right. The elephant's trunk is like a snake. The elephant's tusk is like a spear. The elephant's ear is like a fan. The elephant's leg is like a tree trunk. The side like a wall. His tail like a rope. But you are also wrong, because each of the parts you have touched are all just parts of the whole elephant." Each of the blind men then circles the elephant, touching the other parts. With the new information, the new and multiple perspectives offered, each is willing to concede that he has been both correct and incorrect at the same time. Their increased perception, born of multiple perspectives, has finally allowed them to see the whole elephant, the big picture. Our perception can shift and alter and be enhanced in a heartbeat. Once new information born of a different perspective is provided. Once it is altered, it cannot be restored to what it was. Having touched all the parts of the elephant, and the blind men could no longer hold fast to their original opinions. Even if what we believe to be truth is revealed to be an illusion, and once we perceived to be an illusion is revealed to be the truth, there is no reset button for our perception. Our perception is what is simply changes and alters as our awareness increases. Every change to our perception changes our reality, and every change to our reality influences the choices we make. Well, there you go, Aries. How are you perceiving this relationship? What's important to you? What will make you happy? These are all questions you have to ask yourself, I think, Aries, and why you're so confused. I'm going to leave this reading here. I'm not going to try to interpret that anymore, because I think it was pretty clear that every single person on the face of this planet has a unique perception based on their own unique experiences regarding their lives and the people and their surroundings. So this king is perceiving this relationship as something that's strong, that you need to hang on to. It's something that's important to him, and maybe the actual romance in the relationship or the love connection is secondary. For you, you have a different perception than this king, and you have to decide what's important for you. You have to live your own life and your own truth. So, Aries, I'm going to leave that there. I hope that this reading was helpful for you. I can see that you're in a very challenging situation and circumstance. I wish you all the best. Again, I do hope that you got something out of this, something that you can take away and help you move forward. Thank you so much for joining me. If this did resonate for you, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you feel like it, leave a comment. I do respond to all the comments left for me. So thank you so much for watching the video, and join me again sometime. Bye.